How's it going today, everybody? My uncle's in town. He needs grandma, needs to borrow the truck for a week and a bit. So I am stuck with my daily driver for now. But this is what I take on long road trips. It's comfortable, it's reliable, doesn't burn a drop of oil. Set it on cruise control, forget about it. Don't even need to think about it. It's just a really comfortable drive. So this one here is a first gen. It's a 2005. It was an American vehicle. So it's not in kilometers, it's in miles. I'm at just over 209,000. One thing that sets this Armada apart from some others is the fact that it comes with the factory tow package. They call it the big tow package. So I don't know if you can see it in there. It has a transmission cooler, extra large radiator. And if you come inside here, you got your brake booster there down by your knee, as well as your tow hitch and wiring and everything back here. But this thing all in all is in pretty good shape. The only real rust problem I have is right here by the wiper. I had a spot here that I tried doing myself. Paint doesn't quite match up perfectly. You can kind of tell by the corner of the door. Had some rust coming through, so I took care of that this fall. It's not perfect. I tried paint matching it, but it doesn't look horrible. It's okay. Better than bubbly rust. Got a tiny little bit on the edge of this door here, but it's pretty small. You can see the size of my finger. It's not massive. No big dents or dings aside from the front bumper. You can see the gap is a little bit off there. It was, I think, last winter, I went and bumped a deer. I was only doing about 50 kilometers an hour, but it was enough that it tweaked the bumper a little bit. As far as work that I've put into this thing, I've got hubs, bearings, seals, tie rods, full brake job. That was pads, rotors, calipers, all the way around. They were getting really bad. As well as I had a problem with my passenger door. It was seized shut. The linkage was stretched or something. I'm not entirely sure. I had to get that fixed. The HVAC unit was going goofy on me, so I got a donor vehicle, ripped it out, replaced that. It's a little dusty, a little dirty. I had it all cleaned up, but it's been on the highway. Pollen all over it, whatever. Only other problem that I have is back here at the hatch, where for some reason, I think yet again the cable linkage is stretched out. It's just kind of loose there. It doesn't actually open up. When I first got it, it was only acting up while it was cold, and I could crawl inside and use the little emergency hatch thing, and I was able to get it to unlock, and it was fine. But as soon as you hit the lock button, it would seize up again. The rear wiper, unfortunately, kind of crapped out on me and stopped working last year as well. But that's about it as far as things that don't work on this. Everything else is great. Back seat folds down right to this level here. This actually kind of comes down a little bit. So once you have these guys flipped open, they basically lay on top, and you got a full flat surface all the way back to the end of your hatch. Folding them back up is just as easy. See if I can get a good angle on it for you here. And then this guy, you just, same as you fold it down. It goes back into place. Your other option as well, if you wanted, I didn't push that all the way down, but you can go ahead and you can pull this up, and then rather than lowering it from here, you can actually do it from up here, and it'll drop. And it actually raises the whole seat right up off the floor, so that you have easy access to climb up and into the back. But you got some decent cup holders back here. You got a couple in the middle of the armrest. You got a couple in the middle down here. I guess there's also in the very back, there's cup holders back here as well. In the front of the world here, you got your standard 2 cup holders here, but there's also 2 right here. So you can use either. Nice deep center console in there. I ended up installing a touchscreen Kenwood deck, threw on some rain guards. Another big upgrade that I did was the headlights. I redid the buckets. Unfortunately, being a cheaper brand, you can see they're starting to kind of flake and peel and not look all that great. But the bulbs inside are super bright LEDs. The light bar is a 32-inch Night Rider, jet black edition, double row. In the back here, I don't know if you noticed, but the taillights are also smoked, including the third brake light that you can just barely see. So I'm not a big SUV fan. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing. I bought it because I was working on the railroad. It worked for me. I needed the extra storage space to be able to go to camp for a couple of weeks, all the luggage and everything that I was taking with me. But now I'm looking at it, and I don't know. I mean, the front bumper needs to be replaced due to that ding, thanks to that deer. But aside from that, it's in really good shape. I want to keep it as a daily driver. It is stupidly reliable. The original plan before I inherited the Dodge was I was going to build this thing up. I was going to throw a lift in it. I knew it was going to be expensive, but I'm not going to get the money that I put into it back out. So the plan was I was just going to keep this thing, and I was going to jack it up, throw some 37s on it, custom winch bumper, custom back bumper, roof rack. I was going to turn it into an overlanding rig. But then I stumbled into grandma and had to put a bunch of work into that thing, and it's a much more practical off-road, go have fun with it type truck. This one, not so much. But now I'm debating, since I have it, I don't know. Should I throw a little 3-inch lift in it or something? Throw some 33s on it? Just a little mild off-road? I don't know how it would do off-road. In the winter, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, I can't even hardly force it to try and get off the road. It just hugs really good, grips up and goes. I can't make it spin. Even with traction control off, it struggles trying to spin. It doesn't like it, but it's got more than enough power to. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I keep it? Should I trade it for something? Should I leave it as is? Just a highway vehicle, something to get me back and forth, winter beater type thing? Or should I throw a little mild lift, some tires, maybe a bumper, throw some work into it and keep it a little longer? I would have to get rid of this chrome. I hate the chrome. I can't stand it. I would rather just have it blacked out, black and red. The muffler ended up rusting out and rotting from the top. So when I brought it into the muffler shop, I figured, well, it's basically a 350. It's about 341 cubic inches. It's a 5.6 liter. It's got a little bit of a drone at about 70 kilometers an hour. After that, it clears right up. It's not bad. I really like it. I think it sounds great. It's been on there for about a year and a half, 2 years. Oh, no, closer to 2, actually. And seems like it just broke in. Sounding really good now. Idling at 50 kilometers an hour on a straight stretch. Got all the windows down. Mike is on the passenger seat. So the drone's not bad for a glass pack. It's not until you get to about 70 and the RPMs are up a little bit higher. Rather than shifting manually, I will do it in auto this time. Show you how smooth it shifts. Coming into barely see it. There's a mountain poking up. There's a lake at the base of that mountain. That's kind of where I live. And then to the right here, just through the trees, it'll pop up in a second, is a ski hill. So you can see there, if I can zoom in, maybe, ski hill back there. That's about it for this one though. Don't have much else to go over. Just kind of a Armada update since my uncle's got my pickup for a week or so. And not only that, but it seems like I'm having some major issues trying to find a bumper for that darn thing. Being an early third gen with the bubble headlights, there's not much out there. And especially where I'm at, I'm up in northern BC, so options are a little bit limited. There's not much prefab. You pretty much have to go with something custom made, which can take 6 or 8 weeks. So I'm in touch with a couple of people, trying to get some quotes on getting something built. Other than that, if I can't get one built, I'm gonna have to go with something prefab for now until I get what I actually want. And this Armada has been amazing for me as far as reliability goes. Yeah, I've put a little bit of work into it, but I've taken it all the way from northern BC where I live, all the way to Saskatchewan, down to Kelowna, all over the bloody place. And even right now, I've got a 3-hour drive, well, 6 hours if you count both ways. Got a 6-hour drive every week with this thing, and it doesn't stutter, cough, hiccup, nothing, just runs like a dream. There's another option we have too, aside from putting some work into this and whatnot, is I could trade it for something, or sell it and buy something else. I don't know exactly what. Personally, I think I'd lean a little bit more towards like a Jeep, something like that. I don't know, I'm more of a truck guy, not so much, I don't know, I don't mind cars. I used to have I don't know, maybe throw a picture of it here. I used to have a Fox body Mustang that was pretty good. It was, I don't know, pushing close to about 400 horse, all custom exhaust, stainless headers, Cobra intake. It was nice little car. Took it to the drag strip a couple of times. Had fun with it. That was my baby for a long time, but ended up getting rid of it. It was where I was living at the time. The roads were terrible, and that car would just end up getting beat all to heck. So I decided that I would rather trade it for it was an early 90s Chevy stepside on 39.5-inch boggers with a 12-inch lift. Unfortunately, that didn't last too long. I only drove it for a little bit before I found out that it needed a lot of work. Anyways, that's about it for this one. Don't have much else to go over. So, you guys have yourself a good one. I appreciate you sticking around. Catch you next time.